Okay guys, so here we go. I'm going to try to do this the best that I can remember, like I did it the other day. So I've already got on my, you know what, I didn't put my eye cream on. Let me go put my, I'm going to use the Banana Bright under eye cream. First step is, this is my favorite so far to do this step. It's got the perfect amount of coverage, yet it still blends. And I try to keep it in the darkest spot and kind of underneath the little indentation in my eye. Like I don't try to take it up too far. And then I put a little bit up here, down my nose, and kind of where my darkness and the shadows are. Like this. And then I don't go directly and blend that out. Then I take this, which is the Grace Bay Tarte bronzer with the brush that it came with. Sometimes it just pays to get the brush because it just works so much better, and this is one of those times. And I just kind of touch it in there, and then I kind of put it right where I know I'm going to want it. And it kind of blends out right when I'm putting it on. And then I don't dip again. I just go ahead and go around my hairline, which, remember, work with your face shape. Mine is long. I have a bigger forehead, so that's what I'm contouring. And I'm going to go along my jawline. You don't need a lot of this stuff. It's really pigmented, but yet it blends out so nice. Okay, so just kind of blend it all around. And that is pretty much all I do with this. It's just great. It's a great base. I'm going to take this BK Beauty sponge, and let me take my hand mirror so I can get in closer and you can still see. And I try to keep it lower until I get it blended in. And then I'll go up a little bit higher with it. And then I blend this across the tops of my eyebrows. Like that, a little bit. Just kind of blending it out. Like that. Get all in there. But you can see how once you get finished with these two steps, you know, you've already got your basic look. So when I do the third, it just ties it all together. I'm going to take just one pump of the number 6 shade Power Fabric from Armani, and then use the same sponge. And I usually do one right there and one right there, and then I just start kind of blending it. First I blend it into the places that really don't have anything, and then I kind of blend over the other. There's still a little bit left on my hand. Get everything off. Just keep on until you got it all blended together. Like that. So you can see it's pretty much, I would say, medium. It's a light full coverage, medium to full coverage, and then it gives you some room to go in with some other things without being too heavy, but you've already got your basic look. The next step I do is to bring it all together. I'm trying to make sure I remember all the steps. that I don't skip one, because when I'm doing my makeup out here on camera, I get nervous. So I'm going to take, I usually get one of the biggest BK Beauty fluffy brushes and go in with this, which is the YSL All Over Glow Powder. And you'll see how it just brings everything together. Like that. So that's all you need of that. And then I'm going to do my under eyes with the Laura Mercier Translucent. What I do is I just take it and dip it in the lid. I get a lot on it, but then I tap it off on my hand. And I'm usually standing and very close to the mirror, so let me get my mirror here. And I just kind of go in like this. Okay, I know I usually do this step first before I do the YSL, because what I do is I go over the line of this too. And then if you want to, you can do all the places that you put the concealer. Okay, so now let me correct myself. I'm just going to take the brush that I used. No, this is the brush that I used. Let me go ahead and get a little bit more. See, I'll do like that, so it kind of blends it all together like that. Okay, so then the next thing I want to do is warm up my skin. So the first one I'm going to use is the Estee Lauder Bronze Goddess. I think I'm going to use this 104, and I'm going to go in this darkest color first and kind of go over where that bronzer is, that Tarte, and then carry it down. Then I'm going to go into, let me go into the medium one and go up a little bit higher, just on the back of my cheekbones. And then I'm going to go into the highlight section and do the top of my cheeks. And then sometimes I'll do all three. Like that. Okay, next I want to do a little bit of this NARS Laguna, the limited edition one I was telling you about, and it has this little brush with it, and a little bit just like that. I love this little brush. This just kind of perfects it. And I'm going to use a little, I love this color. Kind of going to go over the whole cheek with this. So pretty, I love the color. Okay, and for the blush, I am going to use, I want to order, I'm so glad, I have not even thought about it since I said that the other day, but I want to order the Orgasm X. But this is the regular, it's just like in a limited edition packaging. And the thing is, I need here, let's take this one. This is the Refer 05, and it's a natural hairbrush, because this blush, really, you have to build it up. And this is the Orgasm. So you can see I kind of put everything just all in that same, I might go a little bit lower in the middle and the higher, but I'm just making that whole cheek area pretty, bronzy and sunny. I think you have to kind of build it up and you get the best color that way. And then now, before I get started with my eyebrows and anything else, I usually like to go ahead and spray. That way I can kind of clean out my eyebrows, and I usually don't need to spray my eyeshadow or anything. So now I'm going to go ahead and take this Olay Mist. This is the energizing one, and you'll see how light it is. and it really just takes all the powderiness away. It'd be better to have your hair dryer. I just didn't want to bring it out here, but I'm going to let this dry and then we'll go on. Matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and clean out my eyebrows, any powder that got in there, and then we'll go with the eyebrows. First, I'm going to go ahead and put on my Laura Mercier Basics Eye Primer. And one thing that you may or may not like about this is it's like not a lot comes out on the wand. It's kind of a dry formula, but it works. I don't know, and it isn't as hard to blend in, and you can see after you blend this in, it's basically already a look. You could go with just like this, or you could go with liner and lashes, and this is the color Buff. My brows, I'm going to use this, which is the Clinique. It's one of those tiny brow pencils, and the color is soft brown, and I'm going to just go on this top section and kind of pull it out just a little bit. I'm not really worried that much about brows in the summertime for some reason, but I do know it makes a difference if you'll go ahead and fill them in a little bit. This is the Smith brow brush, so I'm going to brush these out. And then this brow gel, if you want something just quick and easy, the Anastasia Clear is a good one, but I also like this Benefit 24-Hour Brow Setter, because what you do is you take the flat side and you kind of apply the gel like that, and then you take the bristles and brush it out, and I mean this stuff stays. Really stays put, so that's one of my favorites. Okay, before we go any further, I want to do the lips, because when I use this lip liner and this lipstick, it may look not so good at first, but the color that it creates after just like 5 minutes is so pretty. It's such a good summer nude. So this is the Wayne Goss Sepia Liner. Such a good nude for me. It's just a little bit darker than my natural lip color. Oh my goodness. I just realized I didn't put on my Milk Hydro Primer. I get so nervous, and please forgive my dishwasher. It is possessed. I can go over there, open the door, turn it off and everything, and it's still going to beep like that. So sorry, it just finished. But this is the primer that I like to use in the summertime. This one, or the Sisley Double Tenseur, or the Cover FX Gripping. They make the biggest difference in the summertime. If you're someone who cannot wear it CC cream and all those kind of things because they just melt right off of you in the humidity, this will help, these gripping primers. So I should have put that on, but I'm a little rusty with the Get Ready With Me. Okay, this is the 910 Shining Peach. And I go right over the lip liner. And so you can see how in the beginning it looks a little, you know, stark, like the edges and everything, but it will blend right in. And now let's start. I have a new mirror out here that's a little bit lower so that it wouldn't get in the way of the camera, but it's kind of almost too low. But this look I'm going to do today with this Gen Nude Rose eyeshadow palette is so easy. So it's so pretty, you guys. It makes me want to get the nude one and just see how it is, but it's so pretty. Okay, I'm just going to take any, you know, like fluffy, like if you have a 217, let's see, this brush would be good, the 206 from BK Beauty. Let me see if it picks up enough. But first I'm going to go in with the Boho, which is this color here, which is the star of the show. And I'm going to pick up this, and I'm going to go across my lid, and then I'm just going to blend it out. That's enough to make me want to get a new dishwasher. We've never liked that dishwasher. So there you go. You could really just do that and go. Look how it gives the prettiest sheen across the lid. Hope it's showing. Beautiful. It is so pretty. Okay, so let's do the other eye. First, I kind of go across the lid like that, and then I start blending up and out and up towards the end of your eyebrow. Okay, I'm going to put a little bit of this on the lower. Okay, so you could easily go from here, especially put on even no mascara, but a little bit of mascara, a little bit of liner. You can go anywhere from this color. It's just so pretty. But what I did the other day is I took a little bit of more of a pointed brush. Let's see, let's use one of these rougher brushes here. Okay, this one is the 14. And I went in with this darker color here. And then I just did a little bit on the outside like that. And then after you've gotten most of it off your brush, then you can kind of bring it around like that. And that just kind of defines your crease. Now I kind of go a little bit above my crease because I have deep set eyes, but it just depends on your face shape or your eye shape. And then I kind of bring it out like that. And then that starts giving it more and more shape. I'm just going to wipe this off on a paper towel here. And I love how they have like a good light cream, light cream shade, but they have a real good skin color too. So I'm going to take this skin color and just kind of clean up the top a little bit. Like that, but I'm going to take the lighter color and do kind of like an inner corner highlight with this. It's very pretty. And I like to pull it in I like go in the corner and I pull it up just a little bit, like that. There. So you can see, so easy, you just get a very complicated looking eye and you didn't do a lot. So I'm going to save this darkest color until after I do my liner. I'm going to do my typical wing liner, but I'm going to show you how to do a really easy wing liner. I think I first saw this on Wayne Goss years ago, and I would say the easiest liner to do this trick with has always been the Stila liner, but this one works too. But that Stila liner is very stiff, and it's real easy to do this. So this is the roller liner in black, and the first, I'm trying to figure out what mirror would be best to do this, and I think this one, and you can probably see the best. Okay, I'm going to start with just laying it down right here. Okay, I'm going to need to be closer. I usually lay it down and then I walk it across like that, just getting everything by the lash line, good and dark. And then what you're going to do is take your liner and just kind of line it up where you want it to be and lay it down like that, and then just drag it over. And I like to drag it all the way down, and you can leave it like that, but what I usually do is build on it. So I'll usually take it out a little bit further. It's so hard to do without staring in my mirror. Okay, I usually take it a little bit further, and then I might, but I'm also always trying to lift. I've got downturned eyes, so I'm usually lifting my eyes, and I don't mind if it looks like I'm wearing wing liner. But you can do it just so simply, even with a little teeny wing, and it just makes a big difference. So I'm going to do the other eye and come right back. I just went and straightened it up some, and I like mine just a little bit thicker right in here because I know that I'm going to wear false lashes. So I like to have a little bit of that liner base right there to hide the band. But if you're not, then you could do it. You could almost do no liner on the inside. You could bring it in and end it right where right at the end of your iris, and that would look pretty too. That's more of an Angie cat eye. But since I know that I'm going to wear lashes, that's what I did. I'll go ahead and put glue on my lashes so they can be drying, but I wanted to show you, I took my Red Cherry 43s, and to make them a little bit thicker on the ends, I glued some of these little wispies on there, and that really works well. I think I did 2 of the long ones, the 2 clusters right on the band, and I did it before I put them on my eyes. You can do it after, but I think it's easier before. I'm going to use Duo Dark. Okay guys, I'm using a new camera. It's a camera I've had for a long time, but it's much better. I feel like you can see the swatches and everything so much better, but it cuts off after 20 or 25 minutes. And I like get up and do things a lot while I'm doing my videos, go get stuff or put stuff up, and I forgot, and it cut off, and I think it cut off right before I did my lashes. And so I think that you got most of the whole look. The only thing I think you might not have gotten, I haven't watched it back yet, is when I took the darkest shadow right here with this crease brush. Get a thin, these Louise Young crease brushes are just, I don't know, they're the best. There's just something about how thin they are and beveled. And I got that and I worked it straight like this. Just stayed in this outer V, just like this. And then put my lashes on. The only thing you may not have seen me do the tight line, and what I do with that is I wet my brush, I work it in the tight line, and then I take it and I just wiggle it along my lash line, like wiggle it up into the lashes. Then I take what's left and I bring it right down to the lash line, right where the roots of the lashes are. So I don't dip it again, I just use what's left on my brush. And I'm just praying that enough of this turned out, because it is so disheartening when you make a video and it doesn't turn out. And then for accessories, I just have on the necklaces and bracelets that I have never been taken off. I shower, go to the beach with them and everything. I've been to the beach twice this week. And these are the HRH bracelets. They're not the solid gold ones. They are actually the gold overlay. I had someone message me and wanting the exact link. They're just her bracelets, and I get the ones with gold overlay. And then this one is just a really old one from my teenage years. Same thing with this necklace. And then this, I will put the link down below. This is one of my favorite rings from Miranda Fry. I just think it's so pretty. And no earrings. And my nails are the Kiss nails with OPI Funny Bunny. And the fragrance I'm going to wear today is the Dolce & Gabbana No. 3. I haven't put it on yet, but I'd already thought about it and decided. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.